Right now, I'm a few weeks into my summer break, and that means I have 2 whole months with no schoolwork. And that means I have a lot of free time, which I love. Not having to do anything is the best feeling in the world. But I remember a few weeks ago when I was still in school, still anxiously waiting for my summer break to start, I dreamed about how I would spend all of this free time. Yes, I was going to be on my summer break, but I wasn't going to waste such an insane amount of responsibility-free weeks. Just imagine the great things I could do with all this time, I thought to myself, ready to take on the world as soon as I finished my last exam. So, yesterday I spent a whole day watching desk setup videos on YouTube. And if you aren't familiar with what desk setup videos are, they're exactly what they sound like. Videos where people show off their desk and computer setup, and all the items they keep on their desk, like maybe, for example, a little plant, maybe some sort of lamp, or any other kind of small miscellaneous object. The general rule of thumb here is that the desk should be as clean as possible, so a few small objects to give the setup some personality is good, but too many and it will look like a cluttered mess. And the clean setups are so satisfying to watch. I could do it for hours, and the reason I can say that so confidently is because I did watch them for hours. But then, as I wasted more and more time looking at how other people organize their desks, I wandered off the path of tidiness and got myself lost on the gamer trail. RGB lights flashing, dubstep blaring. This wasn't what I came here for. I was confused, but intrigued. These setups followed a completely different set of rules than the one simple rule I'd gotten used to by now. Instead of keeping everything as neat and tidy as possible, with as few unnecessary things as possible, these dudes just jammed as much shit as possible into their setup, basically as much as their desk would allow. And then, when the desk could take no more, they made use of the walls instead. And that's not even a joke. Their desk was filled to the brim with anime figures, those pop vinyl things, Minecraft plushies, and some of them literally had guns just laying on the desk. And as I said, even though the desk was full, they still found plenty of space on their wall for massive posters or wall shelves to have even more figurines on. And, even though setups like that isn't exactly something for me, I'm not here to talk shit about that today. If you want to buy all the Minecraft plushies you can afford, then go right ahead. That doesn't affect me at all. But there was one thing about these setups that did bother me. And it bothered me a lot. You see, after you cross a certain threshold of gamerness, you don't call your setup a desk setup or a computer setup anymore. When you have gotten too deep into the gamer boys community, you start calling your setup your battlestation. And this I do have a problem with. I don't care how many hours you have on Fortnite, and I don't care how blue your hair is, or how many of those Minecraft foam swords are hanging on your wall. It's just a desk. And it will always just be a desk. If you somehow went to war right there from your desk, I guess it would be okay to call it a battle station. And I'm not talking about squatting up with the boys, completing the rainbow with your crazy ass colored hair. That wouldn't count at all. And look, I don't know anything about war at all, but the only way I'm giving you this point is if you somehow conducted real warfare while sitting down at your desk. And you might say, Do you think it's worth spending all this time and energy being annoyed at some people just using a stupid word sometimes? And hey, please don't try to make sense of this. Just let me rant for a little bit, please. So, moral of the story is, if you call a desk with a computer on it a battle station, you are wrong and you shouldn't do that anymore.